Whenever people ask me, how can I just let her do this? I'd rather have a living transgender daughter than a dead son. Yeah, we have to go north to go to Los Angeles. It's time to wake up.
Yeah!
Having been unsuccessful in finding a local doctor who could help, Vanessa set out with her daughter for Children's Hospital in Los Angeles in September of 2010.
Are you nervous?
So you're thinking about gender all the time?
All the time, night and day.
Dr. Johanna Olson, whom the Romeros traveled to see, is one of the few medical doctors in the U.S. who treat kids with gender identity problems.
Our patients aren't mentally ill. There's an alignment issue between their internal gender and their body.
How old are you?
9. Sorry.
If I were a parent and I see my child and I notice there are some gender issues, you would think that A, it's a phase, or B, maybe they're gay.
And they'd be right. Those are very, very common occurrences. What I look for is persistent, consistent, and insistent. These are the profiles of kids that have very, very solid gender identities.
Dr. Olson had already consulted with Josie's psychologist.
You're so nervous.
And after her own examination, she could decide to give Josie hormone blockers, in effect, pushing the pause button on her male puberty.
How old were you when you transitioned?
About 6.
Okay.
Or she could also prescribe estrogen, the far more extreme option to begin Josie's female development.
It seems like puberty, the idea of impending puberty is a little scary to you.
I just want to get done.
Do you just want it to get done?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like, I want to get surgery right now. You can?
Let's say you could wake up and have whatever you wanted on your body. No penis. You want a vagina, breasts, all that stuff. I made you giggle. Would that be a yes? Yeah. I hear you.
After their 1-hour conversation, there was a physical exam. And then, mother and daughter waited for Dr. Olson's decision. It was not what they expected.
So a little bit of alleviation of concern of this impending puberty coming down the pike right now.
Uh-huh.
It's not happening right now. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. You don't want your kid to go through puberty at 9.
Josie was too young, even for blockers.
I don't want her, like, trying to modify her body.
No body modification on your own. No body modification without talking to your doctor. The worry is we want to go through girl puberty now, even if our body's not ready to go through puberty.
Do you want a hug?
I want to go through puberty.
You do? Why?
So I can be like all the other girls. Can you hold me?
I am holding you, honey. Once she really understands that she's not going to walk out the front door with breasts, I think she's going to be really disappointed.
Back home in Arizona, Josie clearly was disappointed.
Well, I want to be like all the other girls. It's not too long, then yes, I'll be a little longer.
So 94.58 is what we want that piece cut down.
Nearly a year went by at the Romero household. Josie's dad returned from a tour in Afghanistan. Josie was still waiting impatiently for the estrogen treatment, which is controversial at her age. Guidelines developed in Europe suggest waiting until around age 16, and bioethicist Dr. Moon says the few studies that do exist suggest young kids with gender identity problems often grow out of them.
A lot of those kids that start out as children who are saying, I'm in the wrong body, end up finding out by the time they're middle adolescents that they're actually fairly comfortable with their own gender.
But Josie is not one of those kids. Or is she?
Maybe I'm a boy inside and a girl outside.
Really?
At 10 years old, Josie Romero believed she was born in the wrong body, and her parents have been seeking a controversial hormone therapy that would start chemically changing her boy body into an adolescent girl's.
14 inches.
14 inches? A foot and 2 inches?
Yeah.
Estrogen treatment is irreversible and would make Josie sterile. But Josie and her mother never doubted it was the right thing until an unexpected conversation happened one afternoon.
But on the inside, where nobody else can see,
Yeah.
are you a boy or are you a girl?
Maybe I'm a boy inside and a girl outside.
Really?
Yeah, is that true?
Only you know the answer to that. So if you wanted to grow up to be a man,
Yeah.
would you tell me?
Yeah.
Hey, if you wanted to grow up and be a man, you could.
I want to be... Sometimes I think I'm a boy, sort of, but I want to be a girl.
Yeah.
Would you let me if I'm a boy?
Of course. I would love you no matter what. I always have, and I always will.
It was the first time Vanessa ever heard Josie sound uncertain.
I feel like maybe there's a part of you that's afraid to tell me what you really want. What if I said, oh, please don't be a girl?
So I guess I'll be a boy?
No, honey.
I need to listen to you and my mom.
Well, yeah, you need to listen to me about, what's healthy to eat, and you need to listen to me about what time to go to bed. But you are the one. I have to listen to you.
Yeah, well, if you said I need to be a boy, maybe
No.
I have to.
No. For her to have any indecision now, I don't know what it's rooted in, and I really need to find that out.
I feel like I'm about to cry.
I'm just kind of surprised by some of these answers today. It's the first time you've given them to me. Everything I thought I knew is kind of in question.
Had Vanessa's wholehearted, unwavering support of Josie's transition actually pushed her child too far, too fast?
The thought of her having made such a huge decision in her life, all based on what she thought I wanted, that would be traumatic for me.
Bioethicist Dr. Margaret Moon, who opposes opposite-sex hormone therapy for kids Josie's age, says most 9 and 10-year-olds are not mature enough to participate in life-altering medical decisions.
They're not sure of who they are, and they can't really offer their parent that sort of reassurance.
Even Dr. Olson says there is no exact science that can determine who is truly transgender.
What's missing in the data right now is these exact characteristics mean that this person is for sure going to be a trans adolescent and adult. We don't have that data.
Now, the estrogen thing I find concerning. A decision is being made whether or not Josie will have children, her own biological children in the future.
That's why the role of blockers is so important. They get an opportunity for 2 years, 3 years to really work with a mental health therapist on what it's going to mean to be transgender.
But that could still put you at age 12. To me, it seems ridiculous to have a kid at age 12, 13, 14 deciding whether they want to have biological children when they're 20, 30, or 40. I mean...
Well, they make the decision to kill themselves at 12 and 13. That's a pretty powerful decision. We take an oath. First, do no harm. If doing nothing is doing harm, you have to do something.
You and your mom were talking. She was combing your hair. You said to her, would you still love me if I was a boy?
Oh, yeah, that.
Why did you ask her that?
You know, my dad, when I started to change, he was a little sad because he wanted his little boy back. I didn't want the same thing to happen to my mom, like being sad all the time.
Josie and her psychologist discussed that moment of wavering, and just a few weeks shy of her 11th birthday, she told us she never really changed her mind. She still really wants to be a girl.
Now, what about people, Josie, who watch this and say, you know what, she's going through a phase in her life?
I say, no, I'm gonna stay like a girl because this is who I truly am.
You look really nervous. It'll be okay.
Come on in here.
So what do you think? Are you starting? Are you seeing any signs?
Yeah.
Okay, and how are you feeling about that?
I'm a little anxious.
15 months after her first visit, Josie was back with Dr. Olson. After examining Josie in private, Dr. Olson had a decision.
You are in the perfect place to start on blockers.
And she promises to begin giving her estrogen, female hormones, in 2 years.
Around 13. That's what I think. Yes, you're not going to develop breast buds on the blockers, but you're not going to wait until 16 to start. You know that, okay?
Josie received the blockers as an implant in her arm.
It's okay if you cry.
So with all the bravery she could muster,
You're going to feel a little bit of a...
Josie held on tight
Oh!
That part.
as another chapter opened in this young girl's life.
Closing of the skin.
A lot of times it strikes me that had this happened just 20 years ago,
Thank you.
I wouldn't have been able to give her blockers, and she would have had to go through male puberty. That terrifies me. It's all done. Do you want a hug? I don't know that she would have survived male puberty. You know, how is she going to prove to somebody that she is a girl? At best, you know, she would have been shaving every day and been the man in a dress, and that might be great for some people, but it certainly wasn't who she is.
So much about this child's life is yet unwritten, but Josie has predictions of her own.
When I grow up, I'm going to help save animals, habitats, like the ice for the polar bears. As an adult, my hair will be very long, blonde, wavy, and super pretty. I'm going to marry a boy. I'll be a tiny bit taller than my mom. I want to be a mommy. I'm going to be very beautiful.